Well, the Riley County Police Department says officers are investigating an incident reported Sunday afternoon in the 1400 block of Flint Hills Place. A social media post asking residents to shelter in place was put out shortly after 4 p.m., but was lifted a short time later. A police spokesperson says RCPD and Kansas Highway Patrol authorities remained on scene until shortly after 7 o'clock. Emergency officials were dispatched shortly before 2 p.m. for a medical call related to a stabbing or gunshot. Police have confirmed to K-Man this was related to the investigation, but offered no further details, calling it, quote, an active investigation. Additional details are pending from RCPD. Law enforcement kept busy amid annual Fake Patty's Day celebrations in Manhattan on Saturday. RCPD, which made a concerted effort this year to maintain order, says it issued 79 citations by late Saturday afternoon. This was on top of 20 citations that were issued Saturday morning, most of them for open container violations, followed by multiple citations for minor in possession. Police also issuing 3 citations for disturbing the peace and 3 for urinating in public. Police say there were 6 total arrests made. No major incidents were reported. RCPD Director Brian Pete recently gave an update on his crime reduction plan, explaining a recent survey the department conducted.
K-State has been extraordinarily gracious and allowed us to poll their faculty and staff. So we have a link. We're working with them. And there are 6 questions, very easy questions, just asking about what folks' perception of the job that the Riley County PD is doing and what, if any, concerns they may have regarding safety.
He explains why adding K-State to their crime reduction plan made sense.
K-State it's one of the huge economic engines of our area, so they're a very, very valuable partner, and we want to make sure that as you know, when parents come here, they feel okay, and that the area is safe enough that their children are going to be attending this school, and so we want to make sure that we hear their voice and then we're responsive to it.
Those results will be analyzed and put into a report that will be part of the crime reduction plan, which will be shared with the community later this year. Riley County officials are emphasizing the importance of readiness in advance of the spring severe weather season. National Severe Weather Preparedness Week is observed March 4th through March 8th. Emergency Management Coordinator Lori Harrison says their motto is prepared, not scared.
We call it a 72-hour kit, but some of the things that your family may need to survive for that time frame for 3 days. So food, water, clothing, medications.
Last year, she says Northeast Kansas experienced 10 tornadoes, 1 microburst, and 261 severe thunderstorm warnings, along with large hail and damaging winds. On April 19th, there were 30 storm warnings identified in the region, the highest tally last season. Harrison is encouraging the public to have multiple ways of getting notified when severe weather strikes. The statewide tornado drill will take place at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. Well, with flu season starting to ramp up last month, Ascension Via Christi officials are now calling on people to update their flu shots in the coming weeks. CEO Bob Koppel with Ascension Via Christi says that the rise in flu cases can be attributed to the flu shot only having about a 5.5-month protection rate.
The vaccine for flu is really strong and you get good protection, but that protection is really about 5.5 months. And so if somebody gets their vaccine in late August or early September, we're already past the tail of that efficacy for them.
He recommends getting your flu shot later in the season and in the early October range, so you'll have full protection once flu starts to die down in the spring.
I really encourage people to wait till that first week of October, because then the tail carried you into March, which is typically the end of our flu season.
Koppel says people can always get another flu shot or booster to keep protection by visiting your local drugstore or making an appointment with your healthcare provider. Riley County Commissioners will not be meeting today as the Extension Office is hosting its annual Focus on Building Rural Communities event. The keynote speaker is Benjamin Winchester from the University of Minnesota, whose expertise is in community economics and community development. He'll also moderate a panel discussion comprised of local leaders, business owners, and new community members later today. Representatives from the Small Business Administration, the Governor's Office on Rural Prosperity, Network Kansas, and WTC will all be on hand. That event gets underway at 9 this morning and will last into the mid-afternoon at the Sykes venue in Leonardville. Officials in Pottawatomie County will unveil the newest plaque on the Veterans Memorial in Westmoreland today. An event is planned over the noon hour at the memorial near the courthouse. It includes the names of veterans who lived or have lived in Pottawatomie County and served in any branch of the military since 1947. That memorial was dedicated in 1992. And Riley County USD 378 school board officials will hold their regular business meeting tonight at Riley County High School. The board is expected to announce a direction on an interim superintendent. Athletic Director Aaron Flair has served in that role since early January when the board suspended and later terminated former Superintendent Cliff Williams. The board indicated strong support for Flair to continue in that role through the end of the current school year at their last meeting, with some on the board hoping to also have her serve in the capacity in the upcoming school year. In a twist to that superintendent saga, the board held a special meeting on Friday where Williams was briefly reinstated, but not by any motion from the board. He then resigned. Board member Nathan Mead tells K-Man he'll seek clarity on that at tonight's meeting, which gets underway at 7 o'clock.
Good morning, I'm Troy Coverdale with your sports headlines. Saturday's regular season-ending win over Texas Tech locked down the third seed at this week's Big 12 Conference women's basketball tournament for K-State, and an extra 2 days of rest before they begin play on the bracket. The Wildcats are off until the quarterfinal round Saturday evening, not playing until 8 that night. K-State's opponent will be either West Virginia, Cincinnati, or UCF. John Newman III scored 13 of his 18 in the second half as Cincinnati was able to hold off K-State 74-72 in men's action on Saturday night. Meanwhile, Kansas is almost certain to slip out of the top 10 in the AP poll for the first time in 3 seasons, having lost consecutive games for the first time this year. K-State and KU match up in the Sunflower Showdown at Allen Fieldhouse tomorrow night. The Manhattan High girls basketball team is the 8th seed for this coming week's 6A state tournament in Wichita, setting them up for a tilt against Shawnee Mission South to open the tournament at 2 on Wednesday. In 4A, the Rock Creek boys are the 7th seed. They'll meet Atchison Thursday evening at 6 in Salina. Valley Heights locked down a 2A berth. They'll play Wichita County Wednesday at 2. In 1A D1, Frankfort's girls advancing with a win over Clifton Clyde. They've been slotted 6th and will open with St. John Hudson at 8 Thursday in Colby. Also in 3A, the Silver Lake girls. K-State starter Josh Wintraub tossed 6 1/3 innings, and 8 players had hits for K-State as the Wildcats completed a series sweep over UMass 10-1 on Sunday afternoon at Toynton Family Stadium. They hit the road this week with a showdown against Tennessee tomorrow, one against Clemson on Wednesday. Have a great day. I'm Troy Coverdale.